Welcome to the Digital Personality Profiler Demo by Cyber Personality Analytics, CPA. The application provides organizations with personality profiling capabilities of individual users based on their digital footprints in the social networks and other digital ecologies in the internet. People are different from one another, and figuring them out, in reality, is a complex task. People have different needs, they exhibit unique decision styles, and they possess unique individual personality traits and worldviews. In cyberspace, the web and the internet environment, the task of understanding other people becomes even harder, as interactions with other people are digitally mediated and therefore lack social and physical cues, which are so helpful in deciphering others in natural, non-digital environments. Developing the technology and the business processes that enable accurate, remote, and transparent organizational capability of personality profiling on an industrial scale, ranging in thousands, for recruitment and homeland security purposes, for example, is CPA's primary mission. The current demo is meant to demonstrate the company's digital personality profiler final product vision. The core technology of the product inputs its digital footprints of individuals on the web, mostly in the form of social media data, and generates personality and skills profiles of those individuals as its output, based on machine learning and other AI modeling techniques. The specific personality traits and skill set to be generated by the system may be configured and customized according to the particular recruiting tasks of the organization. Note that the digital personality profiler is not intended to replace the psychologists of the organization. Rather, the system allows organizations to perform a more efficient and speedy selection process by significantly reducing the number of highly unsuitable candidates, thereby allowing more time for more in-depth assessment work with each individual, including personal interviews, etc. We will now turn to present an overall view of the digital personality profiler system. The process starts when the candidate for the recruitment submits his or her email address in the designated recruitment website, as promoted independently of the digital personality profiler system by the organization. Once the candidate hits the send icon on the screen, the system will issue a verification email to the candidate. As shown on this screen, the candidates will receive a short description of the upcoming recruitment process and are directed to the digital personality profiler system by clicking the Go to Our Application page link at the bottom of the screen. As the candidates enter the candidacy submission page, they will be instructed to sign into the system using one or more of their social media accounts, and to provide additional background information such as their profile photograph, CV, and possible recommendations. In case the candidates do not have any social media accounts, they will be directed to fill out a dedicated personality questionnaire, which takes approximately 20 minutes to complete. On the following screens, a sample of personality profile-oriented questions are presented, following a general set of instructions to the candidates on how to use these questionnaires. All questionnaires are based on the latest and the most reliable scientific research in the field of personality psychology. On the current demonstration, we are presenting the more likely scenario in which the candidates are registering to the system with their social media accounts. Accordingly, we will return to the candidacy submission page and press the Submit button. As the candidates complete their registration process with their social media accounts, they will receive a confirmation email to approve positive process completion. On the following screens, we will present the core components of the digital personality profiler system, namely the candidate's personality traits and skill set, as well as other data which is of special relevance in order to accurately assess their candidacy. The candidate's personality traits and skill set main dashboard is comprised of three main panels. 1. On the upper panel, some general background information on the candidate and on the recruitment process as a whole are provided. 2. On the right-hand panel, selected relevant information as gathered from the social media are being graphically summarized. 3. On the left, which is the main panel, a series of personality and skill sets of the candidate are presented in both numerical and graphical forms. A detailed overview of each of three panels follows. On the top panel, from left to right, the application presents the organization logo. the recruiting department, the number of candidates currently evaluated in the system, the recruitment cohort, the number of candidates already selected for one-on-one interview with a psychologist, and lastly, the candidate's CV and cover letter. On the right panel, selected relevant data from the candidate's social media are presented, including LinkedIn skills endorsements as provided by the candidate's professional connections, as well as significant career nodes of his or her professional history. Turning now to the primary panel. Some 14 personality traits and dimensions are presented, including such classic traits as the Big Five: openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism, along with several more specific traits such as distress tolerance profile, risk-taking behavior profile, tolerance for ambiguity index, improvisation capacity rank, emotional and social intelligence index, creativity rank, and others. Hovering the mouse next to each one of the traits will provide a short description of that trait. The user may add or subtract traits as needed. Additionally, the relative importance for each trait may be customized and adjusted in accordance with specific job description for which the candidate is applying. The candidate's scores for each of the traits are presented in both numerical, from low to high suitability on a 1 to 7 scale, and graphical forms, with green colour marking optimal or positive scores, and red colour for undesirable scores. As can be shown for the trait risk-taking behaviour, in some cases the optimal desired score of a trait for a given job description may be a moderate, non-extreme value. Accordingly, the green zone marking the optimal score for the candidate on this example lays at the centre between the two extreme undesirable values marked with red. In cases where the scores of the candidate appear to be on the non-desirable values range, as in the emotional stability trait on this example, a red circle with a question mark will pop up next to the trait. Clicking the red circle will generate a set of customised follow-up questions that the system recommends for a possible later one-on-one interview. The traits calculation algorithm is calibrated to provide the most accurate personality prediction, according to the most up-to-date scientific literature in the field of personality psychology. However, in cases where the organisation may wish to do so, it will be able to adjust the importance of each of the traits per its own belief, experience and preferences. This will make some changes in the final score. The relative weights for each one of the 14 traits may be adjusted by pressing the Customize icon on the top right-hand side of the screen. A summary of the candidate's overall score relative to all the other candidates that are currently on the system is provided in the blue rectangle above the list of the traits. In this example, the candidate, Jill Levy, is positioned above 77% of all other candidates currently in the system in his average overall trait score for the specific recruitment job at hand. Jill Levy's position, with reference to all other candidates on each of the specific traits, is graphically represented by pressing the percentage icon just below his overall score. Another major feature of the digital personality profiler lies in its ability to assemble the most productive, socially stable, and effective working teams based on the optimal combinations of the personality traits of each individual. Pressing the Team Synergy Assessment Simulation tool button will take us to this innovative subsystem of the digital personality profiler system. In addition to optimal roles and skill composition of a given team per a specific task, research in the fields of social psychology, organizational behavior, and business administration consistently shows that group personality composition and attachment styles are critical to overall team performance, team social cohesion, and team task cohesion. As optimal team composition is related to the specific task that is required by the team to perform, the user will first select the specific required predetermined task, Job 1, Job 2, Job 3. Additional mandatory requirements for the team may be defined in the upper panel of the screen, including team size, required languages, native passports, and other critical skill sets which are perceived by the user as critical for the selected task. The user may use two different approaches to assemble optimal teams. 1. One approach is to select individual candidates for the team by checking them for analysis using the circle situated on the upper left side of the candidate's profile picture. A search engine for candidate lookups can also be used. 2. The second approach is to let the system apply its automatic optimal team selection feature, which uses a sophisticated optimization and balancing algorithm developed by CPA to assemble the best teams per job, using all the candidates that are currently in the system. Activate the automatic optimal team selection to enable this feature. Parameters of optimal team performance, including team social cohesion, team task cohesion, and team attachment styles, are listed below and will be displayed on the following screen once calculations have been performed. Clicking the Calculate Optimal Team Composition button will present an overall team composition score for the simulation of the selected team members. The specific dimensions composing the overall team composition score are presented on the 8 dashboards below, as defined in the scientific literature to be most relevant to assess optimal teams per specific tasks. In this example, the team members selected for the job score high on the social cohesion and on the group attachment styles dimensions, while they score moderately on the task cohesion dimension. Also in this example, the team members selected for the job score relatively high on the emotional stability dimension, which may be interpreted as a positive sign. To complete the digital personality profiling demo, press the End Demo Contact Information button below. Thanks for listening. The Cyber Personality Analytics team.